Hi, everybody. Good morning, and welcome on this beautiful day today here at Pineapple Grill. I want to start eating. That's what I want to do. Okay, so today's event was put on only because I attend a lot of different events and I feel like I walk away inspired, but I didn't feel I was walking away with the actual tools in order to create these goals to manifest themselves. I needed to find out how these people got from point A to point B. And mostly what I got is, work hard, y échale ganas. I'm like, okay, but like, I already do that. But I need to actually know what you did in order to get to where you're at. And so luckily, I've been blessed enough to know a lot of professional people who are in the house today who are going to be gifting everybody their knowledge and how you can get in contact with them personally. I want to also celebrate the fact that you guys took the time today to invest in yourself because this is not a paid event. I am not getting paid for the event. I just really wanted to do this for the community. You being here today is only investing in yourself. We are experiencing a time of uncertainty unlike any other in the past. It's very insane out there and it's just crazy. So we have to arm ourselves. It is very crucial. If we have never met, I am Elvira Zamora, and I've lived in survival my entire life because my parents never allowed me to get delulu about the world. They opened a bank account for me when I was only 10 years old, told me to always work, to save and have a plan and so forth. This shaped my life in a way that as an adult, I can't never thank them enough for how they did for me. And today we are going to be teaching you guys how to save your money, invest your money, and also to create generational wealth. A lot of people's misconceptions is that how can I give my kids or grandkids generational wealth when I don't even have that? But you don't need that money in the bank in order to create generational wealth. Because I've been a homeowner since the age of 24. I am the owner of Wardrobe Divas LLC, a business that's been operating since 2001. I've helped my mom and my sister purchase their homes, and I've secured my dad's entire retirement life. So my entire family is good. Again, this is not a brag. This is just to let you guys know what you guys can do. I don't come from a family of privilege. I did not come from a family of money. I came from a family of immigrants, and we made this happen. I have an 800 credit score. I'm debt-free. I own a high-yield savings account. I've got an IRA, investment account, a living trust, and a strong life insurance. And with all that being said, the kicker is my dependents are only dogs. And I have all this for my dependents. So people out there who are parents, you really need to secure everything. Because if I can do this for my dogs, everybody can do this for their children, grandchildren, cousins, your mom. Even the moms, your parents can be dependents. If something happens to you, who's going to take care of them? So you got to also think about them as well. I refuse to allow my work to be robbed by the city or federal powers. And I like to address the elephant in the room. We're not going to live forever. Our time will come to an end at some point. Who knows when, but it's coming. So with that being said, the reason why protecting your assets and securing generational wealth is very important. These incredible professionals will discuss many topics, and of course, we will have the chance to network and make appointments for a personalized evaluation. Financial knowledge is a critical tool for this long war of empowerment because nobody's going to come and gift you this power. We will do this by providing individuals and communities with the ability to make informed decisions, build wealth, and achieve economic independence. What does that mean? It means understanding money management and allows you to not be a victim of debt traps. It gives you the ability to budget, save, and investing, which reduces reliance on predatory lenders, government aid, or financial instability. Generational impact. Your knowledge of assets, investments, and compound interest enables people to build long-term wealth. Home ownership, stock market participation, and entrepreneurship are ways to reach that financial security and also educate the future generations on financial literacy. Entrepreneurial success for all my entrepreneurial people out there, financial knowledge is more likely to sustain a successful business. Understanding credit, business loans, and financial planning leads to better investment decisions. And as a community, we can create our local economies and make them strong, create jobs and opportunity. And with the current things that we have going on right now, this means that we won't need to rely on token days, token months, or DEI existence of any. We won't need that. We will create our own. Nobody has to gift us the special month for the girl with black hair. I don't need that. I already have that every day, all year long, because I created it. So they can't take away what you create. So now with the current things that are going on, things are getting taken away. The moment that you build your stability and your power, Doesn't matter. They can't take it away. So it's all yours. That's the importance of that. Social influence. Whatever you learn today, we don't gatekeep. Spread it around. Whatever you guys take from today, tell it to other people so that we can build these strong communities. And also protection against exploitation and no more victims of any of these different banks coming to take your things or these other rules and such. In conclusion, financial knowledge is one of the most powerful forms of empowerment. It gives individuals and communities the ability to shape their future, gain independence, and challenge systematic inequalities. The more financially educated a person or group is, the greater their control over their own destiny. Stick with this very short program, order some good food and drinks, and have the most enjoyable time at this unique experience, which you not only learn, but apply the tools. She is a holistic healing guide, a mujer medicina, sustainability advocate, certifying sound healer, solar energy guru, and she is aligned with nature, truth, and purpose, because we got to get our inner together before we start this journey. We got to, what more perfect person to do so. So thank you so much. It's a treat that she's with us today. Thank you.
I thought I would share a particular way of breathing. It's the Gamma breath. And it's a breathing technique that helps you access higher processing power brain states. And the gamma brainwaves is the highest frequency of all the brainwaves. It has different benefits. One of them is to get into a really focused state of being, very present, but it also helps elevate our consciousness. So if your goal is to say before you meditate, this is a great way of really getting into a higher states of consciousness. So go ahead and take a moment to close your eyes. Just listen to the sound of my voice. Let's take a deep breath in through the mouth. Releasing through the mouth. Breathing in through the mouth. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Releasing through the mouth. Breathing in through the mouth. 3, 2, 1. Releasing through the mouth. Breathing in through the mouth. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Releasing through the nose. Breathing in through the nose. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Releasing through the nose. Breathing in through the nose. Releasing through the mouth. Breathing in through the mouth. Releasing through the mouth. Breathing in through the mouth. This time I want you to hold a little longer. 5, 4, 3, 2. Allowing your bodies to just release the tension, the worry, the stress. Let's take another deep breath in through the mouth. Holding for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing through the nose. Just taking notice of your breath now. Connecting with your energy. Maybe your body is telling you something. Maybe you're feeling tingling. Or maybe you're not feeling anything at all, and that is totally okay. Just taking notice of what thoughts are coming up. Allowing yourself to just notice these thoughts. No judgment. Just being. Being with your energy, your essence, your spirit. Giving yourself permission to receive everyone's medicine here today, because we are all each other's medicine. We are all interconnected. Giving yourselves permission to just be. Just be. I invite you to start thinking of an intention that you want to bring forth today. Whatever that might be. This is your intention for the day. Arming yourself with the information that will be provided today, the knowledge, but not just holding this knowledge, but applying it, because applied knowledge is where the power lies.
And Mary Cruz, you did phenomenal. I feel like I'm more relaxed now. I feel like I'm gonna go to sleep, but I have the next 5 minutes with you guys. So my name is Eileen Alexani. I am with TFA, Transamerica Financial Advisors. I hate the word title advisor. I believe that I'm a financial educator. I'm part of an organization that believes in financial literacy. We do have workbooks and books that just focus on education. I'll tell you a little bit why that's important, because prior to my affiliation with this wonderful organization, I practiced as a physical therapist for 20 years. Yes, I started when I was 5 years old. And, and my husband and I, he's a software engineer, physical therapist, we made good amount of money, not a lot, but some money, right? And you would think we were financially set. So when we got introduced to this financial literacy organization, I knew that making money was very important, but what we did with it was even more important. So about a few years ago, I decided not just to learn and earn. It's been more than a few years. I've been just helping families educate about what's important to them. When people say, Eileen, what do you do? I said, well, I help families understand their financial foundation. How do you stack up those bars, right? And I'm honored to be here with John and some other individuals from financial services, and they're going to talk a little bit about different aspects of financial planning. But when it comes to financial education and planning, you got to build it ground up. So I'm going to take the next minute and just talking about those bars. Just like building a house, we talk about the foundation is very important. I don't know anything about construction, but sometimes you can drive by construction site and you see nothing's happening, right? Well, it's setting the foundation, and then all of a sudden you see that beautiful house or building, right? Well, when it comes to our financial foundation, we got to understand proper protection is very important. Elvira talked about, yes, proper life insurance to create that legacy, protect your loved ones, very important. Proper long-term care is very important. I'm a physical therapist still at heart, even though I don't practice anymore, so I understand the impact of not having proper long-term care planning. Right after this beautiful event, I'm going to take care of my 82-year-old mother-in-law. She doesn't have any type of long-term care. My husband and I are her long-term care plan. Once that is set, then we got to talk about debt management. Because if we have debt, we cannot be financially independent. And you talked a little bit about that. Then it's emergency fund, right? Understanding you want to start with the first $1,000, then 3 times your monthly income, then 6 times your monthly income, right? In a high yield savings account. Man, you're amazing, right? And last but not least, most people come to us, right, John? They say, I want to talk about investments. Investments are amazing, especially if they're, met or meeting your objectives and goals. Investments are sexy, but you got to start ground up. Doesn't matter who you go to. You got to understand, you got to start with your protection, debt management, emergency fund, and last but not least, your investment. I'm just going to give you one more tip, and I know other wonderful individuals from financial services will talk a little bit more detail about maybe life insurance and long-term care. Remember the 10-20 rule. When it comes to proper protection, you want to protect that 10 times your income, because typically when something happens to one of the breadwinners, it takes roughly 5 to 10 years for that family to be able to generate that income, right? So you want to protect that 10 times your annual income. Budget makes a difference. It's a journey. My husband and I have over 9 policies. It took us a minute. We didn't get 9 policies overnight, right? Proper long-term care planning. And when it comes to proper investment, you want to have 20 times your annual income. I work with a lot of young people. I say, listen, you're making $50,000 today. 20 times that annual income for nest egg is going to be $1 million, right? And it doesn't have to be one vehicle. It could be a Roth IRA. It could be a 401k, Roth 401k. It could be cash value life insurance, whatever serves your needs. But you want to be able to accumulate that nest egg of $1 million, right? But if I never see you again and you make $100,000, well, your goal is going to be
for it. Want it as well. You never know. Just do it. So I'm sending you the links to all the stuff I've used. Just randomly look and see which one you apply to, including I Fund Women, Hello Alice, and Galaxy Grants, and the small business, the small business union as well. They also have the links to get loans that are either 0 interest, or sometimes you don't even have to pay them back. Look into that, because that's kind of like winning a grant if you don't have to pay back a loan. So look into it, go down the rabbit hole. These people are there to service you and inform you, so you can always call them, email them. If you guys also want to know about events like free tax events, I'm sending you that as well. There are also webinars, and there's also an active program from the Mentor Organization of Retired Executives. So these are all people that made it, did it, and then they retired, and now with their free time they give back to the community by becoming a mentor. So with this, you just sign up, you let them know what city you're at, and they'll find a mentor for you, and you have a one-on-one conversation with them about whatever it is that you need to know about. And they've already been there, done that, so they have the playbook, and they will sit there with you and mentor you on your artist journey, small business, whatever it is. So I'm sending you the link for that as well. You click on that, click an appointment, easy to go. So just a few things for now, just to let you know that that's something that we'll be sending your way, but don't forget, put in the work, click it. Otherwise, it's very useless. All right, y'all, keep enjoying your food. In a couple minutes, I will announce our next presenter.
When we weren't here for work and school, we were going to East LA to see my abuela and my tias and my cousins. So I know that's probably not very different for a lot of folks. Maybe we have a similar shared story, right? But I faced a lot of adversity early on, just from learning difficulties. I didn't learn how to read until I was in the 4th grade. I didn't learn how to do math until that same year, until I had a teacher that actually cared a lot about me and had me pulled out of class to help me separately because I wasn't learning with the kids in the correct way. So my passion became helping other people that had those same barriers. And I guess I was blessed by my abuelos, right? That I also got to see lived experiences firsthand, like those of my parents and those of the people in my community, because my parents never took me out of my community, even though I went to a Catholic school where there were a lot of different kids. I got to learn from everyone. And so that is what I try to do as people start their small businesses. I have an amazing financial planner. He's right there in the back, John Flores. He pulled me out of the streets and he was like, come on, Cholita, I'm trying to help you. I was like, nah, fool, you trying to take my money. So, I was like, sitting with him, like, I realized how I also have kept myself out of certain spaces because I felt I didn't belong or people weren't going to accept me. And even when I did finagle myself into these higher ed spaces, getting a doctorate from USC and, doing all these things, right? The gangster mentality, the street mentality never left. I was able to see right through people's words when they didn't want me there. I saw how angry they got when I challenged master. I have seen slavery in every single way, and the top point of slavery is psychological manipulation. And our parents, they had reason to not want us to go to therapy, that had nobody that had experiences like we did. So now, as a counselor of sorts, as an educator, I like to have conversations with people about their mindset as it comes to money. Because the revolution cannot continue if we don't put our money in revolutionary grassroots space, because it is not going to be bought by corporate. We are the makers of our next reality. And I'm going to tell you this, just like all the greats had a team of advisors, I do too. I do not work alone. I work in collaboration, because what I don't know about investments, my mentor does. And when we both don't know, we go find the answers, because our hearts, they beat for our community. And even though Juanito over there may look Juanito, right? He fucking cares. And that's what we have to start seeing. When people care about us. And you know what? It's not necessarily the us, because I was the most privileged in many spaces. Because I was never on DocU. I never spoke another indigenous language. Or maybe Spanish is an indigenous language at this point. We just been so mad at the colonizer, we haven't, all right, I'm having all these thoughts. But this is how it happens, I think out loud. But that's what I'm saying, it's like the division in the raza, it cannot continue. And I believe everybody here today is here for a reason. We are here to make things happen together. And if you're not stepping into a space, that's you excluding yourself. I stepped into every space and made myself so uncomfortable. Riding home on the metro, crying after my days working at a law school. But I stayed. And while modern day psychology would have you believe that I like abuse because I was abused as a child, it's the abuse of 500 years of my ancestors trembling through me, through all of us. I need the me, my ilakech, in other communities. I can't do this by myself. I will not do this by myself because that is a presidency. We do this in community. We do this together, a council of advisors. No one person should have power. That is ego and greed. We get to work with each other to find those people. So if you find that person in your community, hit me up. Let them know La Raza Unida is here for everyone who has ever been displaced, removed, made to be less. We are not a barrier. They've been lying to us, psychologically manipulating us, putting us against each other. The real revolution is going to come from the streets, though. I saw a lot on the streets as a kid, but I never partook. I need my gangsters to rise up. We need to heal together. We need to hear each other's stories to restore humanity and trust in our neighbor. So, if you need a financial planner, actually just go to my website. If you just want to have a conversation with me, sign up for a meeting. I'll just give you a quick presentation for 10 minutes about how to save and maybe opportunities you didn't know were available to you. And then meeting number 2, you know, if you just want to chat it up, meeting number 2, I'll bring in my advisor. Thank you.
Side note, this woman literally helped me save money on a previous plan I had going on, and that is T. I was like, okay, let me see if what you do is for real. This is my stuff. This is what I got. They gave me homework, and I was like, all right, what can we do? And I'm already saving.
A lot of people there have income requirements, income minimums, right? So if you grew up first generation like us, you know, a lot of our friends and family, you know, maybe they make 60K, 100K is like always like our goal. For me, that was my big thing too. I had asked my boss for, I said, I want 2 things. I'll be here for life. Give me 2 things. I said, give me my title change because I was a production supervisor. So I want to be a production manager, and give me that bump. I said, I think I was about 85. I said, give me 100K, and I will literally be here for life. And now I'm like, shoot, I pay my assistant like almost as much as, which she should be coming up for a raise soon too, I think. But anyway, but that was. I guess 2 things. One, it's like your mind opens up. It's like, okay, you know, because a lot of times we set these barriers. We set these like, oh, if I get this, like this, I'll be happy. It's like, dude, and then you get to there, or then you start around yourself with people who do, and you're like, wow, there's just such a huge world. You know, you can't party on a yacht for 100K, I'll tell you that. So, but I think the biggest thing, again, is just like, okay, being the resource. That's big for me. That's how me and Vanessa connected. Like you said, I reached out to her. Dude, I don't got no money. He's like, Vanessa, just chat with me. I think we chatted for like 5 hours, 5 separate phone calls. We didn't even talk business. It was just like, this is who I am. This is what I do, you know. And it wasn't really, this is what I do as a career. It's like, this is who I am, right? Yeah, right. And then after she finally met with me, she's like, oh, you actually can help me. He's like, yeah, I can help you. And I think that's the big thing, because other advisors that you had met before, even some of our colleagues, right? Like, oh, you don't make this much money. Like, hey, well, why don't you come back when you've got 100,000 to invest, or $1 million to invest, or hey, when you make 500,000 per household. And for me, that's always been very important. I wished my whole life that when I was working in a factory, someone tapped me on the shoulder, like, hey, man, like, do you want to know about financial security? Can I help you with that? When I was 18, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I always share the story. I think I shared it with Natalie here. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and one of the chapters, get yourself a financial advisor, right? So I went to my bank, right? I went to schools first, so that's credit union. And nobody explained anything to me or helped me with anything, but they did open a mutual fund for me, so I was at least putting $100 away. I didn't know how that works, and it's funny because now as an advisor, where a lot of those people at that branch are my clients, and I start asking, like, hey, how come they don't explain anything? Because they're not licensed, right? We have every license that you can think of. If I don't have the designation, like Vanessa says, I can go right next door, like, hey, Eddie, I need your help. I'm working on a big case. But I myself put a lot into education. Vanessa herself puts a lot into education. So you never have to worry about coming to us and saying, like, hey, can you explain this or that? Oh, no, we can't. But I can open up a mutual fund for you. It's like, no, like we're going to take the time to actually teach you all these things, right? Elsie's another one of my clients over there. Yeah, she remembered. So everyone knows my stuff. But anyway, I guess to kind of go back, because I might have passed the 5 minutes, but I would say the biggest thing is getting started. Like she mentioned earlier, right? Getting started. It's not a get rich quick. We'll never call you with like a hot tip. Hey, do this. Like you need to do it and you need to keep doing it. So I always say connect with your advisor, whoever that may be, because ideally you're going to be hanging out with us for the next 30, 40 years, right? I always tell everyone that, like, hey, get to know your person because you want to check in. You want to see, like, hey, is my plan on track? Is this going the way it's supposed to be going, right? And I think me wanting to be the resource, Vanessa wanting to be the resource, we want our clients to be the resource because you're going to be so knowledgeable about all these things that when your friends ask you, dude, how do you know all this? Oh, I've got a great advisor. Here's Vanessa's number. Here's John's number. You know, like that's really the thing. So I think really the theme, and I think the theme of this, I love this. This is actually kind of cool. But like the whole thing, I think is really just being the resource. Like how do we be the resource? It all starts at home, and then how do we just do that for everybody else? Get my good angle, huh? Yes. Yeah. It literally is just whatever is doable and meaningful, right? You can say, okay, I want to put a dollar a month. It's like, okay, is that meaningful? Is that doable? And it's probably doable because we all spend like a dollar just waking up, right? But is it meaningful, right? And then I always tell people for investments. I know, I'm holding this. I always tell people for investments, for every dollar that you save or invest, you should know two things. One, what is the money for, and what is the time frame? Because based on that, right, there's so many different vehicles. Oh, mutual fund, S&P, Roth IRA, 401k. It doesn't matter. Like, what's the money for, and what's the time frame? Because that's what's going to determine that. But it should be something meaningful and doable. Again, we don't have income minimums. We don't even charge to meet with us. We just chat. If it's a good fit, hey, we'll schedule meetings, and ideally you'll do the work with us, and we'll work with one of our carriers, whether it's insurance, investments, or whatever, comprehensive planning. But it should make sense, right? And it's based on your goals. And I'm gonna run and I always carry my I don't have it with me today, but I always carry my scientific or financial calculator. You say, hey, John, I want to buy a house. Okay, when do you want to buy it? I want to buy it next month. Okay, how much you want to buy a house for? Oh, in this neighborhood, it's 800,000. Okay, do you have the 3% down FHA? No, I don't. How much do you have saved? I got 1,000. Okay, well you need to save 10,000 a month from here to 6 months if you want to buy it then. Oh, I can't do that. It's kind of steep. I was like, okay, well then let's be realistic, right? So again, it's just going to come down to what the goals are, what you want to do. But I mean, there's no minimum necessarily. We don't want you just to invest just for the sake of investing. You should have a purpose to it. Yeah. 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 And yeah. 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 We can work with that. Well, so you're already working with Vanessa and her team. I mean, we got the same resources, so it's very. That's the biggest thing, right? Because a lot of our colleagues do have minimums, like you said, or it's not exciting for them, or like, hey, maybe come back when you do have money, and we're not going to turn. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. I made that promise to myself, and even this year. So I finished this year number 15 in the entire country. I primarily work with blue collar Latino. I never compromise. That was the big thing because my entire career, I've been doing this 5 years now. It was always prospect up, move up market, move up market. I said no, like I'm going because I was like, dude, I wanted people to tap me on the shoulder. I'm not going to like forget, and I'm here to pull everyone up. right? And that was the thing. So even having never moved up market, right? I still beat like my wife and I just came back from Ritz Carlton last week because they paid for us, all expenses paid because we were number one in clients, you know. Yeah, but it's from helping regular people. That's it. And so I that was my promise I made to myself. Like I will never turn anyone away who wants help, right? Even if it's just a chat. We'll just chat. So thank you.
I know I'm gonna retire when I want to retire, and I will say goodbye to my awful 9 to 5 job because I have been saving. And I also that's why we have different people here today, guys, as well. Diversify your savings. So if you have investments here, make sure you also have an IRA. If you have an IRA, don't forget a high yield savings. Especially last year when it was at 4 point something, I was ranking it in at 4 point something, and I didn't get charged for it. You just put it in there, leave it alone. It's not even a CD. Now I don't know where it's at, but I took advantage when when the iron was hot. So diversify your stuff. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket. That's why there's different people here today. Get different opinions, get different consultations, and what works for you may not work for her, and what works for him, vice versa, guys. So I have mine all over the place. So if one place burns down, I'm good. I still have it in 4 other places. So just keep that in mind why we have so many different people here from different companies as well. They don't all work for the same company. So that's your due diligence yeah. They do, but not all of them do, yeah. Because exactly, y'all need to get together and talk. Because you need to, again, this is not a pitch for me to get you guys to go with X company or Y company. I don't work for any other companies. I don't work for any company at all. So, I mean, a mí que me importa. But I just want you guys to know your options and talk to the people and see what works better for you. And with that being said, I'm going to bring on next I call her my evil twin, Elvira Galindo. She is a life insurance consultant, expertise in life insurance, debt management, and financial needs analysis. And the topic is going to be called income protection. And again, if you guys are in the business of any of these financial services and want to just get with each other and talk shop, like Vanessa was saying, please do, because you never know.
I love it. I am so inspired by everyone. And first and foremost, I just want to thank you, Elvira, for putting this together and everyone for your time taking it here. I know it takes some time. I also appreciate everyone for sharing. I think earlier we mentioned applied knowledge is more powerful than knowledge, right? So my name is Elvira Galindo, and my mission is to educate our communities about protecting their incomes through life insurance. I hold a license with the state of California and can assist clients in 50 states as well. Like many others, I thought that life insurance was primarily to cover funeral costs. When a family member passed away, we will often scramble to raise money through selling food, participating in tandas, or holding yard sales. My passion for this work stems from desire to ensure that family has the right protection. I've listened to countless communities about the difficult people face when the lack of adequate coverage or the wrong type of policy. I've noticed that many discussions about life insurance or seguro de vida are very taboo. Or no hables de eso, hija, someone's gonna die, es mala suerte. Like she said earlier, that is something that is guaranteed, unfortunately, right? And it's crucial to break this information in ways that everyone can understand people. It needs to be clear, and the most important is to build trust, right? We don't trust so many different corporations. Many different have told us one things, but no one has sat down with us and said, hey, let me just share the information. You make the decision. It's always like, let me hold the information. No one has the information. Who is the right person, and who can I trust? And how it happened with me is my best friend spoke with me, and she sat down with me and she told me, hey, this is what it is. And then I got it, right? 6, 7 years later, she set me up the same thing, retirement, and I realized, like, why don't people know this? I also work for a corporation as a human resources, and no one taught me to tell my employees, let them know about what 401k really is. No one tells them about what an IRA is. You think like you're supposed to sell the business plan, the corporate plan, sell it to them, but you don't say anything. You don't answer anything because you're not trained. You don't have a license, so you can't give it information that you're not trained on. So, calladita, right? You listen, and then you realize, why is no one saying anything to our people about this? And then unfortunately, death knocked at my door. and 2 of my friends were murdered in June, on June 1st, coming out of their houses in Exposition Park, picking up their twins, shot in the head randomly, right? And the mother could not go to work the next day because she had to collect money to try to figure out how to bury her 2 sons. And that's when things changed for me. When things became more, it's not about a sale, it's about tell everyone. I live in South Central, no one's knocking in South Central. To every single person and saying, hey, this is what's going on, this is the information. So there I am. I don't care, 8 o'clock, call me, 10, 12. I had something with AAA and I couldn't get a hold of no one. No one. I had to wait till Monday. And it was a holiday, I had to wait till Tuesday. You know, and those things, when you feel it and it knocks on your door, it's different. And it becomes a crusade and it becomes a passion to help our comunidad or raza about there's ways. And we're all here to help. You know, I want to give you a GoFundMe. I want to support you. But if I can give you something that you don't have to worry about anything else, and your family is not only going to be taken care of for funeral costs, but beyond that, that is important. And that's what I do. I'll have my information, QR code.
Yes, we're going to be passing and sharing all of that. And, oh, wait. Okay. Oh, you're good. It's good. My hands were slippery. We were also going to have an attorney here today who was going to discuss estate planning with y'all, but she had an emergency in Washington. She is an active attorney who is always helping out the community with different types of legal issues, and one of her expertise is estate planning. I know she's not here today, but reach out to what I'm going to call you guys now your own board of directors here, your professional board of directors that you have access to after today, that if you need to find out more information about estate planning or someone that they can talk to, because an attorney, don't let anybody out there fool you. An estate planning document can only be drafted by an attorney. Other people can give you classes, advise you, give you information, but I took an estate planning class at UCLA and they told me, you can't draft one up, it's only an attorney. So don't get fooled out there, because the community gets fooled a lot. So it has to be a knowledgeable, certified attorney. And the reason why estate planning is very important is because everything down to medical directives. If something happens to you, you know how you want to spend the rest of your life. Whether you want to stay hooked up to something, if you want to not be hooked up to something, that's your decision, and you need to have that taken care of, because in the case something does happen, then everybody's going to fight over that. Your kids, your family, the doctors, it'll be horrible. It's already a horrible situation enough. The fact that you don't have a medical directive will make it even worse. So things like that, wills, where your money goes, your dependents, even in your bank account. If you don't have a dependent on your bank account, I suggest you go add that. Because if something happens, your bank account could be frozen because Miss Maria is no longer around. So Miss Maria's account is just going to stay frozen. But what about the kids that need the money for food? They're not on the account. That's Maria's account. So all of my bank accounts have a person, in case I'm no longer around, that person can get into my bank account and take that money. I suffered a accident last March, and that could have taken me out. Everybody's like, I'm surprised you're alive. But at that time, I already had everything set. So had the worst happened and I was no longer here, my family would have been just perfect, just fine, because I already took care of what needed to happen. So it's not an if, but a when. I wasn't planning on getting thrown off a horse. That wasn't on the plan. It happened. And again, I survived. I'm fine, but not everybody makes it out of those. So I was already prepared. And I was like, look, if I got to go, everybody's good. So you just have to make sure you're good. Accidents happen all the time. So I can't prepare anything for you. I'm just educated in estate planning. But you can talk to your board of advisors. They will direct you to somebody that can give you that information for you, for your parents. What if your parents, something happens to them? And then maybe their house is not in your estate planning. You know who's going to get the house? Not you. It's going to go to probate. And probate is disgusting. It's horrible. It costs you money. And by the time it's over, you should spend a lot of money and you still don't get the house. You want to make sure it's protected. Even your parents, grandparents, just make sure everything is protected. It doesn't work like a domino, like, oh, well, daddy's house is gone. I'm the daughter. I get it. Not how it works. Even with your spouse. If something happens to him, I can automatically get it. It doesn't work automatically. Otherwise, probate wouldn't be so up there. It just, trust me, just do it. Just do it. I'm also going to be sending you information about, actually we have somebody here today who also is in finance, and he sent me a worksheet on how to do budget finance planning, and his name is David. He's right over there. Hi, David. So I'm going to be sharing that, and he actually did bring the worksheet, so we're going to pass him out. So you could start today on your budgeting, because you want to be able to live a good life. We're not here just to work and pay bills and die. I don't want to live like that. I want to go out and have fun and vacation. And what are you working for, right? So budget your life so that you can do all that stuff and not be like, I only got $1 in my bank account. Like, it doesn't have to, we don't have to live like that, y'all. It doesn't have to be like that, I promise. I'm also going to send you guys, I know, I fought this for the longest time, but I finally gave in. Chat GPT. I wasn't going to win that battle, so whatever. I know, I gave in. F me, right? But check this out, though. Once I dove down the rabbit hole of Chat GPT, and I'll send it to you guys, if you guys need help with writing those grants, with writing those, you know, ¿cómo se dice? If you want to enter into anything where it's going to benefit you, your business, just talk to Chat GPT. They'll do it for you, and then you just tweak it, you know, like a teacher. It helps you, because otherwise you're sitting there raking your brain and like, how do I write this intro? How do I write this paragraph? How do I just let it do it, and then you just review it. So I'm going to send y'all the good old Chat GPT. Also going to send you lines. If you guys do email marketing of any kind, this goes for all of y'all too. You're going to rack your brain thinking of what's a good email marketing, because there's a lot of email marketing that stinks and nobody's going to open your email. You send out an email marketing about financing, insurance, they're going to be like, delete. So there's a tool called Subject Line for Email Marketing. So you put in there whatever you want to send an email about. I want to send an email about protecting your dog's insurance, and it'll tell you exactly what the best subject is to put on there. You don't have to think about it anymore. It does it for you. And it flags anything that'll get people to either spam it, block it, or delete you. And you don't want that. So I will send that to you. It's a free tool. All these are free. Just download it, click it, and use it if you're doing any email marketing. If you guys don't know about Canva, for the love, Canva's free, unless you want the premium. Canva will help you guys out in your email marketing, social media. I don't care what you're in, dog walking, making cupcakes. You need Canva. It's free, and it'll help you with creating posts. So that way you don't have to rack your brain and just let the dang on thing do it. If you're doing it old school with the Facebook and the Instagram, it looks old school. It looks grandma. Nobody wants to see that. Let Canva do it for you. All you got to do is type things in. I will send that over to you. I'm also going to tell you guys that if you like me have to still have Facebook for Instagram reasons, please use your Meta Business Suite. That allows you to you have to calendar your posts, so it'll do it for you. It'll give you the best times that it'll automatically post it for you. So if you pick one day out of the week, on Thursdays, I don't have anything going on. I'm going to do my social posts on Thursdays. Okay? Create your social post for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month. It tells you what's the best time to post it. It'll post it on Facebook and Instagram. And you no longer have to do it. Yes, sir. Yeah, to be able to qualify for that, all you got to do is open up a Facebook business page, link it to Instagram, and that's it. I'm never on Facebook, but I have it because it works with Instagram. You can't do one without the other. Yeah, so open up a Facebook business account, link it to your Instagram, and then you can use all of the features. It has a lot, and it's all free, all Free. Another thing I'm going to send to you guys that you guys can definitely use is called Milanote. It is free. And again, if you're a creative person or if you're in finance or whatever it is, this keeps all your notes in one place. You just open it up. You can put videos, links, images, notes, whatever you want. So whenever you're on the road, even on your phone book, oh my gosh, I need my presentation. You don't need to go find your computer, get the document, email it to you, find it in the emails. Everything is stuck on Milanote. So you just open one page, whatever you need, boom, right there. So it is a working document, free. It lets you allow different folders, and this way you are more proficient when you're doing anything. Even for just regular business life. I don't have a business, I'm just a mom. Okay, cool, you're just a mom, but you need to know about the kids' health things and the appointments and whatever. Yo no sé. Just have it all in one place instead of, let me search through a million Instagrams or a million emails. It's like, ma'am, time is money. One place, it's all there, and it's not going to change. So I'll send you the Milanote. Email services. You can do free email services on Constant Contact, MailChimp. However, they have a limit. So after 500, they start charging you. I've done the homework. They're all expensive. There's one called Flowdesk. It's owned by a Latina, and it's not as expensive. I have damn near 10,000 people on my email list, and I still don't pay a lot. With Constant Contact or MailChimp, you will pay a lot. The free is only up to a certain amount of numbers. So you could use the free ones, but once you have run out of enough emails where it's going to start charging you, go to Flow Desk. It's just more bang for your buck. I'll send you that as well. And then another thing I want to talk about before I introduce our other speaker today is take advantage of credit card perks. I know credit cards, everyone's like, oh, they're evil. Yeah, if you let it be evil, but if you don't, it actually can help you. I've been using credit cards for the longest time, and they hate me because they get nothing out of me. I pay it every month, but I get the points. I get the miles. I get the perks. I get all the stuff, and they don't get nothing out of me. So I will send you a link for one of my favorite ones, which is the Capital One Rewards. You can even get Capital One, perks at the airport, at the Capital One Lounge. You could even, also meetings. Oh my gosh, okay. If you guys have a small meeting and you don't want to spend the money on getting like a room and doing all that, the Capital One Cafe is free for everybody. Capital One member or not. So if you want to do a meeting with your 4 or 5 people in your crew and you're like, well, I don't want to do it in my house with my dogs and I don't want to, rent this place, Capital One Cafe will let you rent a space for free. All you have to do is be a Capital One member and you can save it. And they're really, really great. They have Wi-Fi, they have drinks, it's professional. Trust me, take advantage. It's there, take advantage. Everybody else takes advantage of it. Why don't we? So do it. So I will send you that information. Sign up for a Capital One. Say, use it, don't use it, but if you do use it accordingly. Don't get into debt. Pay it off. And then rack up all the points because you can just have it deducted from your bill the next month. You have that option. Like, oh, you saved $40. What do you want to do with it? Take it off my next bill. And then it does that. So I'm going to send all these things over to you guys today so you have all these tools, download them and use them. There are even more perks out there that I don't know about, but the moment I discover them, I'm going to have you guys on a list and I will continue to send you things that if I discover them, we're not going to gatekeep. We want everybody to grow. We will share them with you, especially because they're all free. All right, cool. So now I'm going to introduce Mr. ¿Estás listo? All right, cool. Hang on. Hector Perez Roman, he is the founder and CEO of Valley Views SFV Media. He's a social entrepreneur, social justice educator, media and broadcasting development, and a youth mentorship program. And today they blessed us with this entire setup because none of this is me. This is all them. We also have DJ Blarzurk right here who's been providing the tunes. Yes. And he's going to introduce another one of the team members as well, who she will come up here and introduce herself and what she does. Just like Vanessa said, guys, we have to invest in the community. Because, listen, all the investing that you did with Walmart, what happened there? Yeah. And Target, what did they do? So are you going to continue to invest with them or invest in yourselves and your community? I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying the proof is out there. They turned their back on you the moment they could. And your community won't. Because look I'm here not getting paid when I could be at home getting my rest. I will reinvest back into you where Walmart and Target won't be here unless they get paid a lot. So just keep that in mind, please. Anyway, here you go.
Thank you, Elvira. Can we just give it up for Elvira, though, for real, so just for bringing us all together, right? I think that's one of the things ever since I met Elvira years ago now, when we were doing some community pop-up events and things like that. Elvira's always been about community building and bringing folks together, for first, like, around cultura, our history, our culture, and then, like, the beautiful ways of just connecting, whether it's through fashion, art, and, what we're having here today. Before I get just a little brief on, Valley Views and what we do, just want to, I think it's more important than anything, and I think it's kind of like the same goes for probably everyone here in the financial world. It's all about first that human connection, and like who we are as humans, as individuals, because if we don't really know that, we don't really know ourselves or the folks that we're with, the energy that we produce and the energy that we absorb with each other, then what's really the point, right, of like just getting a product, a financial instrument, or investing in others or yourself. And so, me, especially with everything that's been going on, especially recently, I just want to let you know that, I at one point was an undocumented individual here in the United States, and so it's near and dear to me, like the things that are going on right now, and really trying to use, what we built together with the team that's here and the team that's not here, our particular media source, to really just bring a lot of that awareness to resources, just like even this here today, you know. And luckily for me, in the late 80s or mid 80s, late 80s, you know, there was an amnesty that was signed, and we were just lucky enough, right, like to be in the time and space of being able to, you know, get some, you know, that so-called quote-unquote legal pathway into this country, you know. But you know, I know what it feels like to be on that side of being undocumented, to have that fear in you, but still try to strive, right? Still try to do the things that you do. I was the first to go to college in my family. I went to a full ride over at Occidental College, you know. And you know, I was able to get a master's at UCLA as well. And you know, I really wanted to, again, just kind of give back in the way that, for me, the passion, the energy that made me do that is through education. Not just for myself, but that's why I also became a teacher. I'm a national board teacher. I've been teaching for a little over 20 years now. And one of the things that in teaching young folks, teaching high schoolers here in the San Fernando Valley, it's always been about how can we tap in with our kids and give them opportunities, and making sure that they're also aware what it means, like a social justice education, and like how you apply your knowledge in your education to better yourself in your community. So I've always kind of like operated with that. So when finally, fast forward to today, we've had the privilege to have Valley Views Media for 5 years now, since 2019. And the big thing that we do is we produce different radio shows here in the San Fernando Valley on 101.5 FM. We provide a variety of different community events here in the San Fernando Valley. We've done some, of course, with good old Elvira, Chicano, Elegance, Gala, and a couple other things of that sort. We've done some stuff over at Canoga Park, Dia de los Muertos, with San Fernando. We've done some stuff with the city of LA. But the main heart and soul is really giving both the young crew members that are here opportunities, and then also our youth that couldn't be here today because they're not 21, you know? But point being, you know, just giving folks opportunities in the media and broadcasting division, but also with that, right, like tapping in, right? We do a lot of things with businesses, because what we try to do is just to highlight, promote, and really shine a light on folks that are doing amazing things in our communities. Yes, Elvira. Yes. So if you have, you know, something that you're like really proud of doing, you know, something that you want our community, our audience, our people to know, the things that you're doing, how you impact the community, how you could help the community with your different knowledge that I've already heard here, I'm already like, hey, I see future guests here, you know, on our shows. Blazerk has his radio show too, Take You There Radio. Bonnet does graphic design. So I want to bring them up too. So we'll be here to tap in. What are the things that we're trying new today that we're really actually excited of? And it's like a low stakes, but we're getting into like the live broadcasting and streaming as well. So let's say you have an event, right? And like, you know, you have it to capacity, but you also want to share that with others. Those are the things that we're exploring today, actually. Like, you know, just trying to level up, trying to grow and evolve. So, you know, we have a system here where we could do live broadcasting as well. And so that's what we're testing out today. There's little glitches, but it's all about, more than anything, improving ourselves. And you got to try it. And you got to try it in the field and see how it goes, so you can learn and grow from that. But yes, we could definitely have you on our shows, on our platforms, and highlight you, uplift you. We have a monthly newsletter with over 2,000 subscribers. We just dropped that yesterday. It's done by Vane that leads it, and our interns. So we got all kinds of things that we do, more than anything, to connect with our community, our creativity, and our culture. Yes. Yes, absolutely. We'll tap in. We got cards. We have really easy streamline to do that. So let's do that. I think everybody here should sign up with us. We have shows from now to June. And then in the summer, we take a little break, and then we're back on, you know, so anytime. I'm going to just bring up real quick here Vanessa and Blazerk real quick, just for them to highlight them. Because, again, Valley Views it's a whole bunch of us, you know. But Vane, who actually went to the same high school that I taught, she was never my student, but she was a student. And Blazerk, we've been doing stuff together with the radio music for a while. So I want both Vane and Blazerk to speak about some of the things that they do, so that if there's a connection here and you could support our community in things that they do that could apply to your business or your projects, tap in with us as well. Okay, so I'll give it up to Vane first and then Blizzard. Thank you, y'all.
Sorry. Hi everybody, I'm Vane. So I did like the graphics that you see here for Valley Views. So this shirt, we have some that we've sold before as merch, and we also have some stickers. So one of the services that we're like looking to start providing here is doing like social media graphics or event flyers or stickers too, if you guys need those. So that's something that you guys could hit us up with. I also do perform, so sometimes you guys are at the night market, you'll get to see that. I did Chicano Elegance last year too for Elvira. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. So I'm gonna pass it over to Blazerk.
What's up, everybody? DJ Blazerk. I am a DJ, event coordinator, a radio host on KROJ. And honestly, when it comes to this music stuff, there's a lot of opportunities that come out of it, and I've definitely tried to use my platform to provide opportunities to people around me here in the community. And since linking up with Valley Views, it's been something very amazing where I've met a lot of people, had a lot of great opportunities, and now I'm able to give back. So shout out to that. So yeah, if you guys need me, whatever you guys need musically, I got you guys. I have cards up here. And yeah, thank you guys.
I'm going to add one more thing because they deserve their flowers. So I created this gala a couple years ago, and I've never created one before. And I don't know, I was like, okay, I'm just going to tap into the right people and see if they kill it. Dude, because of the production value that Hector, Valley Views, Blazerk, everybody, it was incredible. They did so well with the stage performers, the timing, the lights, the everything, that it went so amazing that everybody was so impressed. So if you are planning on any event, big or small, again, tap into the community because they do an incredible job. That was not a small party. That was a big old crazy gala that we threw down. They had to move directions. They were in one side and then we had to move to another. And they did it so smoothly no one even noticed. So again, I'm telling you because it's not because they're my friends. I have the receipts. If you are ever, or your company, or anyone throwing any events and you need coverage, you need professional folks, you need it to be badass, this is the crew. And also shout outs to you because every time he DJs any of my events, people don't want to leave. I have to push them away because they're like, no, it's so good. And I'm like, turn off the music. So he's really that good. So just keep these folks in mind, guys. Thank you. She will also be available. So.
Thank you. Thank you. Give it up for Elvira. And give it up for you guys for showing up on a Sunday. This is an amazing. I was just going to be a guest. I was just going to sit right there eating my French toast. But she was like, you got to come up here. Without community, I wouldn't be here. That is like for sure. Without community, I wouldn't be here. I have been in this community with Valley Views. I worked with them. I've collaborated with them. I can attest their work ethic, and the drive to give back to the community. I come from, Pacoima, from the Valley, and my community, my family has been everything, my drive for everything. I work with Elvira too. She's given me opportunities to be, working, showing her what I got, to homegirl Doctora and John. I'm their client. Earlier last year, I was like, yo, I need to figure out my life, my finances, everything. I'm getting older, and I have a daughter, and she's going to go to college, and I have no idea what I'm doing because a couple years ago, I quit my full-time job to become an entrepreneur, to become an artist. I have a series called Chicano in the City that highlights, the community, that narrates stories through my lens, but also through the lens of their interviews that we do. And I was inspired a lot by Valley Views, but also through just my conversations that I have with people. I think getting to know people on the floor, on the ground, going to these events, it has inspired me that I wanted to televise them. I wanted to showcase them, show what our community is all about, and reshape those narratives, those stereotypes that we've been seeing in mass media, and reshape them to show our true community. My goal is to eventually get into a network and, do an actual show, like get off social media, get off fucking Meta, and just give them a little bit and be like, let's build our own. But yeah, so I can attest for all of this. I've been in touch with Claudia, like she's showed up. I've done it all, y'all. I teach ballet, I've modeled, I've bartended, and I've designed websites, I've hosted, and I have been in this community, and I feel so empowered and inspired by all the conversations and everybody's drive and hustle. And I just want to say, like, yes, our money should be like put into our own community. We have on Monday, we are, obviously stopping work for no immigrants, like no a day without immigrants. Or if you're gonna shop within our own community, invest in our own community, work together. Like we just said, the Walmarts, the Targets, they're not there for us. So why are we investing into these corporations? Because it's easy and it's convenient. It's like, no, our community, we come from community where we purchase from our vendors, where we've gone to people, even if they are in corporations, and let's go into their community who's putting the work and advocating for us in those communities, in those corporations, So I think your money speaks. Your voice speaks too. If you guys also want to be highlighted or have events that want to be highlighted, invite me. Like, I would love to be there, even if it's a chat up on Storm. I've modeled too, but most importantly for me is storytelling. So if you guys have any stories or anything you want to talk about, or even like I'm building Chicano in the City as well to be an editorial, following Valley View's footsteps and trying to bring youth and post-college grads to come and write with me and teach them that our stories are important. So yes, thank you for Elvira for having me here. I think this is such an important, I'm a client of Homegirl Doctora and John, and I was that girl who was like, I don't know, I'm a hippie. Like, I grew up paying, like, I don't have credit cards. I don't do that. Like, I don't know, I pay cash. And they're like, girl, get your life together. And they're like, so yeah, and especially if you're building something or you've been building something, it's so important to get to the foundation and build your foundation right. And I'm learning that. And unfortunately, my parents were those people that paid cash because they were undocumented and didn't want like anything that might target them, be on any list or anything. So I grew up with that same fear. Even though I have the privilege of being documented, I still carry a lot of those fears. So it's time to face those fears, those financial fears, those being out there fears, and showcasing who you got, network, get uncomfortable, and really connect with one another and build community, because without community, we are nobody, honestly. So thank you guys. Thanks. Have fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody that came in and again showed up for yourself. I promise you all of the things that we're giving you, you're going to be able to use and use it to grow. And now you have a beautiful board of professionals that you can tap into for any questions. Don't ask your tia, don't ask your homeboy. Ask the professionals. I'm sure they mean well, but you want to ask them. Some people just hear things and they'll be like, well, I heard. Don't ask those people. Ask them. Now you have access to them. And if your friends tap into you, you're also probably not a certified financial planner, but you can direct them to them. So that's what I do. I get asked questions all the time, and I'm like, call this person, call that person. So now we can continue to share this. Please, please, please share this with anybody and everybody. We all need to see this. And my dream is just to see our community level up like many others before us. And the way they did it is like this. I did a whole rabbit hole. Like, how did these other communities of whatever get to be so big in this country? And it's because they educated themselves, supported each other, and built each other up. And then they kept that gate closed. They kept gatekeeping to their own community. So they are the only ones that got to rise up, while the rest of us are like, what's going on with our $2.05? Now it's our turn. Now we can level up, now that we know everything, now that we've cracked the code. So thank you again, guys, so much, and have a happy Sunday, and don't forget to make your appointments.